Well, good morning and welcome to What's On in Southsea, and I'm outside Hunter-Gatherer today. Apologies for the wind. You might get a bit of wind off the mic. I'm hoping you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. And the first thing to mention is I'm going to be changing what's going on in Southsea. I'm going to start calling it Lick the Lid. So just, you know, when you have something really tasty like this bit of cake I'm going to have now, pistachio and rose I never had before, and you just want to lick the lid, well, that's what I feel about Southsea, and I think it's a much better name than what we're talking about now. And just going to have a taste of this cappuccino. Of a marvellous picture of something on the top of it. What else could you ask for? So what's going on in Southsea surrounding areas? This is a hunter-gatherer. I've got Brian who runs this here, doing very successfully, having a great cup of coffee, and as I said, a cheeky bit of pistachio and rose cake. So I'll just read out what Brian says about hunter-gatherers. So great coffee, great food, great times. We strive to serve superb quality coffee and Aussie-style cafe dishes in a warm and friendly space that can be enjoyed simply alone or with friends. The creative interior design, which is just over there. I'm outside because it's so busy I couldn't do the filming inside. Benefits the customers that experience the most. The bar serves espresso on a La Marzocca linear class 2 group with an EK43 and K30 grinder. I'm not really sure what that means, but it does make very good coffee, that's all I can say. And they do very, very good food in here. They do vegan and also vegetarian as well. So what is going on in Southsea? Well, I just learnt on the news this morning, so I thought I'd better talk about it, is that Martin Kemp is coming to Portsmouth. So he's going to be at the Pyramids. There's 8 days to go. It's called Martin Kemp Goes Back to the 80s. He's going to be there, DJ set. Remember, all the youngsters probably won't remember who Martin Kemp is. He's one half of Spandau Ballet, and also his wife is one of the backing singers from Wham, so Pepsi and Shirley, for people who can remember going far that back then. He's going to be there on the, 29th of November at the Pyramids, and I'm going to have a little bit of cake while I am going. It's probably not a good thing to do, but I'm going to try it anyway. Very nice indeed. Do excuse me. So, Martin Kemp Back to the 80s, 29th, if you want to go along to that, at the Pyramids, get your tickets. Apparently there are some still available. Sasha EP Launch Party, night of entertainment hosted by Sasha in celebration of the launch of his new EP, Page of Swords, which is out on Brutalist Records. That's going to be on the 23rd of November, 7:30 until 11 o'clock, and that's never eat anything halfway through doing these. My mouth is stuck together with cake. That's at the Acapulco, 56 Albert Road in Southsea. Next one, another famous person that some of you will have heard of. There's an evening with Lenny Henry. Amazing. Join the legendary Sir Lenny Henry as he embarks on a brand new UK tour. This autumn, Lenny Henry is one of Britain's best known and celebrated comedians. Now that's on the 24th. That's at the Guildhall, and that's at 7 o'clock. Where to eat? Well, there's actually the launch of Beaujolais, and that brings to mind Laura, a wine connoisseur that we mentioned. I work with Lou O'Brien on Southsea Folk, and we do a podcast, and Laura is on there, real expert on all things wine. So if you want to get the first season Beaujolais, then we're doing it like the French at the Southsea Cafe. Join us in the celebration of this year's Beaujolais with delicious French dining to enjoy alongside your wine, and that's on the 23rd, 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock. Apologies for this one being quite short. I've been away for a little while now, and just getting over the jet lag, bless me. So, news. Well, for all of you who are lucky enough to go along and see the Prince of Wales come in this week, it was actually involved in an incident with jetty services on Monday evening, and they had to get 3 tugboats, including a high-specification firefighting tug. They were called to ensure the continued safety of the 65,000-tonne HMS Prince of Wales. That was according to a Royal Navy spokeswoman. There was an incident involving jetty services on the Princess Royal Jetty within the naval base between 8 and 9 p.m. on Monday, where HMS Prince of Wales was berthed. There were no injuries, which is good to hear, to any personnel, and the jetty remains open. And you'll see it's now berthed back at that jetty, and underwent actually to get that ready for the Prince of Wales and the Queen Elizabeth. They had to do £30 million worth of work on that to get that ready. and that was including the installation of two 95-ton bumpers. That's big bumpers, isn't it? To allow both carriers to berth at once. History was made as Prince of Wales came in Portsmouth on Saturday, and it's due to be commissioned on December the 10th, and they're going to get the Duchess of Cornwall coming along. And also we've got Queen Elizabeth will be here. That currently undertaking sea trials off the coast of the USA. It's due back in Portsmouth before the sister ship ceremony. So that's actually quite a thing to see, both of those ships alongside in Portsmouth. And it's a good thing for Portsmouth as well that they are here. They're magnificent things. If you get a chance to see them, do go along. So what have we talked about? Well, we talked about the Southsea Beach Cafe. Go and get your wine hit from there with the Beaujolais. Sasha EP launch party. Martin Kemp back to the 80s. And Hunter Gatherer, which is where I am now, with his marvellous cup of coffee and this lovely cake. So do go along and use that. And that's down the bottom of Albert Road here, right near the Festing and the Merchant, and it's a real place that I come to. This is part of what I would call Southsea Village down the end, and it really is becoming a buzz. I was just talking to someone in there recently who were looking to start a way of coordinating the events and make it public. Southsea's getting a real buzz. There's loads going on. If you think there's anything you would like to add to this, or a company or an event, I don't charge for any of this. This is free of charge. Just give me a call, email me. Email's at the end of this session. And I'm happy to put that on there. And if you want to go and watch or listen to the podcast, then please don't go along. The podcast address, and this is in conjunction with Southsea Folk and Lou O'Brien. The Southsea Folk, it's at southseafolk.podbean, that's Podbean, podbean.com. At the moment we've got one from Laura, the Southsea Wine Siren, Vince from the Portsmouth Distillery, and Dan from Southsea Deli, and we'll have loads more coming along. Watch that space and do download or subscribe, etc. Well, thank you so much for this. I'm now going to finish this cake and drink this cappuccino. Speak to you all later. Take care. Have a brilliant weekend.